Hey EXPs, how you guys doing? Welcome to this latest edition of discussions in the EXP Elite group. So as you guys can see, I am joined by T, and I don't know if you guys noticed the topic of this video, but we are going to be discussing the results from the agencies to avoid list. So definitely, if you guys want to comment, if you have any questions about the findings, if you want to discuss anything else in greater detail, definitely drop your thoughts and let me know in the comments so we can make sure we get to those questions. So before we get started, I just want to drop a little bit of house rules. First off, we're going to keep it professional in the EXP Elite group. So please refrain from using any profanity, from being negative. You know, it's fine to go ahead and express your thoughts and your feelings, but let's just keep everything for the most part. And if you have issues, go ahead and express them, but refrain from using profanity. This group is not one which was created to just go ahead and just be a bash all a bash all agency group and just talk about what we do and how much we hate an agency. This is not why this group is here. And it's not why I created this list. The overall objective for creating this list was, for one, EXPs you guys asked me for it. I received multiple messages from you guys wanting me to go ahead and put a list together of agencies to avoid. Now, granted, there's different Facebook platforms already created. There's different platforms out there already that exist in which you can go ahead and, you know, leave your thoughts, leave your reviews, and express your concerns with regards to an experiential marketing agency that you work with, a bad experience that you had with that staffing agency, that account manager, etc. So definitely, I encourage you, check out those groups, do your own research. But the purpose of me putting this list together was to provide you guys with an opportunity, with an open forum and an anonymous way to go ahead and be honest, be transparent about your experiences with a particular agency. Now, I took the time and I really wanted to make sure I didn't compromise the integrity of the group. And me and T, I talked to him a lot about it, because at first I was hesitant to do it. But I wanted to make sure if I decided to go ahead and do it, that I did it in a way which still honored the group and provided you guys with a way, if you didn't want to provide me with your name and your information, to still, you know, be honest and transparent about your experiences. So we created the forms. I received, you know, a lot of good and bad feedback with regards to doing this, but I wanted to go ahead and press forward with doing it, and I'm glad I did. But long story short, we created the form. I received less than 40 reviews back. And I went on ahead and I created the next form, which was the official voting ballot. So I compiled all of the different agencies, all the different feedback, did my own internal research, and came up with a list from that research based on who were the most, I don't want to say most popular, but the most common experiential marketing and staffing agencies that came up, created a list, and then sent out an official ballot.
And let you say this, because I'm not big into this group. I don't have a Facebook group, but Jae, doing her research, meaning research. A lot of people don't do research, but Jae does her research. Research meaning website. Research meaning going to other Facebook groups. Research meaning reading the reviews from others, and that's how she was able to basically come together with what she had, because she did her research. A lot of you guys don't do your research, and you just express your thoughts on things instead of doing your research on anything that Jae presents. So I give her kudos for her doing her research on the agencies that were on the list, and seeing the transparency with other ambassadors were saying, other groups out there, other websites was out there too, that was expressing the same issues from these same agencies, and they kept popping up.
So from what I found, the issues that I had with the last ballot, for one, enough people did not respond. So because we didn't have enough people, it's 1,600 people in this EXP group alone. So for me to only receive less than 40 of initial reviews, and then have less than that respond to the official ballot, for me, it was a little shocking because EXPs, we talk about the importance of being transparent, being honest, and holding these agencies accountable. And doing so right here with the ballot, it wasn't communicated, the way that I thought EXPs you guys would do. But nonetheless, I just wanted to let you guys know from what I found, because there was so many inconsistencies with what EXPs were saying, and because I didn't receive enough information on one agency or multiple agencies or enough votes from one agency, I just decided, hey, you know what? It doesn't make sense to go ahead and just bash one or two. It doesn't make sense to reveal
the truth behind what brand ambassadors are saying.
The truth behind
in the industry.
Agencies.
Also, not brand ambassador. Let me say this: clients.
Yeah.
Clients.
So it doesn't, and for me, it didn't make sense to reveal the findings from an agency based on one or two opinions. I wanted multiple opinions. I wanted factual opinions, and I wanted to make sure that it was consistent with what I was finding. So I broke this up into two parts, because at the end of the day, we got to be real. We got to be honest. We got to look at it from both sides. We got to look at it from the agency side, and we got to look at it from our side as an EXP, an experiential marketing professional, executing events daily. At the end of the day, we are the ones on the ground, in the forefront, executing events daily. So making sure that we have a process which holds agencies accountable and ensures that we are paid in a timely manner, that we receive prompt responses with regards to communication from agencies, and that we're able to communicate our concerns is important. But let me go ahead and just jump into this, and let's look at the first part of it. And I'm going to go back and wave to you guys and read your comments in a minute.
Hold on. Also, because they're expecting a list to be revealed. Yeah. Jay again said there won't be a list revealed, because due to the amount of votes, due to the amount of people not interacting and engaging in the voting process and voting for, and expressing their thoughts on it. So it serves no purpose to expose.
And let me just say that I want to thank the people. First, let me thank the people who took the time to vote both times and to express their concerns. I read your responses. I appreciate your responses, and just know that it was heard, and a lot of things that you guys were saying were consistent across the board and other platforms and in other groups. Yeah. So it really wasn't. It didn't serve a purpose for the group to go ahead and show these agencies who are out there not performing their duties as an agency. So again, it was no purpose, and it just being transparent with you guys. So it serves no purpose to tell them. I mean, to be transparent about one agency. If we didn't have enough,
if we have enough people engaging on it or expressing their vote on it, so to me it serves no purpose. Yeah. At the end of the day. So we'll speak about it later.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it with the things. From what I gather and from what I read from EXP's agency side, agencies, whether that's experiential marketing or staff agencies, please be transparent about your payment process. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are already doing this, and if you are, thank you and kudos to you. But please, in your contracts, EXPs, you gotta take the time to read your contracts.
They don't read.
Please, some of us read.
Some read.
But take the time, please, to convey your payment processes. Whether it's net 30, whether it's gonna be net 45, whether it's gonna be within 2 to 3 months. Conveying that information in EXPs. Before you work for an agency, make sure you ask the question: what is your payment process after executing this event? When can I expect to receive payment if I complete my onboarding paperwork and I do all of my recaps in a timely manner? When can I expect to receive payment? If it's less or if it's longer than the time that you expect to receive payment, a lot of agencies are moving to net 2 weeks, 15 days. A lot of agencies are still, abiding by the net 30, net 45. If you are working for an agency and you don't approve of the payroll process, EXPs, don't execute an event for them, because you're going to be frustrated. and you're not going to be happy, with the turnaround time, because oftentimes there's bills, you're counting that money before you get it, and you want to make sure that when an agency says that they're going to pay at that appropriate time, that money is in your account. And a lot of times we are checking our accounts to make sure on the data that we were told contractually that money is in there. So agencies, if you have a certain payment process in place, please make sure that you convey that. I know you're probably doing contracts, but please just reiterate that to EXPs initially so that they will know, and make a sound decision as to whether or not they want to work for that agency. And take the time, EXPs, to complete any paperwork to make sure that you are paid in a timely manner. Also, if payment changes, if the client does not pay out in the time that you were expected to receive payment, if you are behind on invoices, or if you are playing catch up, if you are, paying other invoices, paying other programs, paying other EXPs on past programs, please convey that in a professional way to the EXP, because they're going to be expected to receive payment. They're going to be looking for that payment. And if you are behind, oftentimes a lot of EXPs, especially if they work with you on a continuous basis and you communicate this to them, they'll be understanding of that. But however, when you do communicate that, also provide a date in which they can expect to receive payment outside of the time in which you originally said that you would be paying them. So explain your payment process in totality. EXPs, if it's in the contract, please take the time to read your contracts. If things that you're reading don't make sense or don't add up, please ask questions. And if you're not comfortable, don't execute the event. Also, agencies are aware of the reviews that are in the different groups. I spoke to multiple agency owners over the past 2 weeks that this form was put out for agencies to avoid. And a lot of them understood what I was doing. They didn't have any objections to it. They just wanted to make sure it was done with integrity. And I appreciate them reaching out to me. However, they are aware of the reviews you guys are writing. And they are working behind the scenes, a lot of them, to right their wrongs and to change things and to correct the issues from a payment process that you are having. Continue to communicate, EXPs. Continue to reach out. Please don't get discouraged. If you are expecting payment in a certain amount of time and you are communicating and you're reaching out to that agency or the agency owner, that account manager, and they're not responding, oftentimes taking to those different groups have proven to be effective for EXPs in receiving their payment. It can go both ways, but you have to make sure that you do it in a professional way, in a way in which you are not using profanity and you're not coming off as very unprofessional or very rude. So anything you want to add to that as far as agencies need to, when we talked about this too.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As an agency, that means you represent yourself as a business owner. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how your contracts are designed and how you set up with your client, mm-hmm. but if the brand ambassadors are out there executing an event, and you tell them a deadline when they should be paid, you have to be transparent with them and let them know when they're going to be paid. Mm-hmm. And you have to be transparent with your client too as well. Just be honest with you. Hey, I have a team out here. These people are going to represent your brand. Make sure they're going to do what they're supposed to do to execute the event to the highest possibility. And you the client failed to pay you in a timely manner. You need to make sure you handle your business as an owner. Mm-hmm. That's your responsibility. Coming from being athlete and being around coaches, do your job. Your job as agency owner, Bill Belichick, all the great coaches out there. Do your job. That's your responsibility. If you say you're an agency owner, do your job. Stand up for your players. These are your players in the field. Mm-hmm. Stand up for them. Speak up for them. And if you're going to say you're going to pay them in a timely manner. It's no. Have cash on reserves.
Let me say no. Hold on. You can't tell how to run a business though. First of all, you can't tell how to run because that's how they run a business.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Let me say this though. Also, you have to make sure that you can't come with all these excuses. because everybody can have excuses. Then you can have challenges that you may face but you can't have an excuse for every time they're not getting paid in a timely manner. Because excuses won't get you further. If you're an agency and you still having the same trouble that you were having 3 and 4 years ago, the problems are not the brand ambassadors. The problem is you as an agency owner, your business practices. I can't tell you how to run your business, but if you want some consulting, you can hit me up at t.davis@team100consulting.com, which I have helped a lot of clients and other agencies too as well to get over that bridge. So if you need that help, hit me up on email. I can tell you how to get it done. I can tell you how to write up your contract. I can also give you a lawyer too as well. So I have a lawyer too as well. That's next week. But I have a lawyer for you too as well to help you out, because at the end of the day, you got to protect those who are representing your brand. Your brand, and you are the agency. So protect those who are out there in the field executing events for you. And it's no excuses. Stop being all these excuses. This and that. No, it's no excuses. It's too many excuses out here, man.
It's definitely hard to get clients to approve hours. So dealing with clients who may be difficult, a lot of them, deal with clients. A lot of them are dealing with clients who don't pay on time or have different stipulations for payment.
Hey.
So how does that affect us as EXPs in the field? And Miles, I saw you just wrote something really good. Let me see what you wrote. Please, guys, comment. A lot of these agency owners are robbing Peter to pay Paul. If an agency doesn't have money and operating account to pay their staff, they shouldn't be hiring staff.
First of all, you should be operating as a business.
Yeah,
that's
good point, Miles.
That's any business out there. You shouldn't be operating as a business if you don't have that capital in the bank. You shouldn't be operating as a business and telling these brand ambassadors, yes, I'm going to pay you at this deadline. If you know that client in the past have been delayed on payment, then you don't need to then release. Don't work with that client either. Don't work with that client, because at the end of the day, you have brand ambassadors out here counting on that money. But also you're going to lose brand ambassadors, and they're going to expose you on these different
clients.
You're going to lose clients, but also you're going to lose brand ambassadors, and they're going to expose you on these different social media platforms. It's different back in the days, like in 2000 when I started in the industry around 2004. I started in 2004, 2005. We didn't have all these social media platforms, and they were able to quickly expose these agencies. Now you can go right here and expose the agency as quickly as possible. Then next, here come Bobby with his comment. Here come this other with his comment. It's these same comments coming back and forth, and it's consistency. So they can hit you quicker than when I first started in industry in 2004. So
and they can still be under the radar and still be working and obtaining clients and still practicing poor business etiquette. So definitely T is hitting on some good points. Thank you guys all for chiming in. One person also said, Lauren Tran said, integrity matters in this business, and you have to have integrity as a business owner.
Because I can't tell you again, the brand ambassador, we can't tell you how to operate your business, because again, also as a business owner, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of brand ambassadors don't understand what's going on behind the scenes as a business owner. So, but again, it goes to how you lay out your contract with your client, and if the client is paying out in a timely manner. If the client's not paying out in a timely manner, I'm gonna give you the basics. If they're not paying in a timely manner, don't have another contract with them. That's what you come in as a business owner. You have to do your job. You have to do your research. And you have to make sure that you're representing these brand ambassadors who are working for you and executing these events in the field. So it's simple as that. It's simple. It may sound simple, but some of you guys can't execute. And as some of the coaches say, hey, if you can't execute on that field, we need to pull you out the field. So it's true. It's the truth. I mean, it's not hating on the agency or degrading the agency. It's the truth. And what a lot of people don't like to hear is the truth. Even that's human nature. They don't like to hear the truth. And these agency owners don't like to hear the truth. But it is what it is. And
a lot of the agencies, if you're doing what you're supposed to do as an agency, a list, one bad, 2 bad reviews is not going to affect your business. It's not going to affect how you operate your agency, because at the end of the day, you doing the right thing, and one bad apple. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Bad apples at the EXPs is not going to spoil your ability to make money, your ability to retain and maintain your clients consistently. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do as an agency, a lot of the reviews and the things that I see on different platforms is not gonna apply to you because you're doing what you're supposed to do.
You go win championships. Okay, you go get more clients.
Yeah.
Because you doing what you're supposed to do as an agency owner. You will get more clients. It may take a while for you to get there, but you will win more clients if you're doing what you're supposed to do by an agency owner. So I don't give no to all these agency owners who got these excuses. I understand that you can have again challenges. You have little hiccups and all of that, but if you consistent with this and you hearing it. And I'm not even working as much as a brand ambassador. When I was the brand ambassador, I heard these agencies' names in my ear that were doing the same thing now. They was doing now. They were doing it back then. And I stopped really doing a lot of brand ambassador work probably like 4 years ago. So, and I just started doing more tours. So it's true what they saying. So it's not that they're trying to bash you or go after you because of you as an owner. If you are of a black race, or if you have a white race, or if you have an Indian race, Spanish, or a minority, or Spanish, no, it's because you're doing poor business practices, and that's the truth, man.
Yeah,
and
it's not about.
And you just have to accept their responsibility and change your business practices. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. When you change your business practice, you will see better results for you. You'll see the comments change.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, that's a lot for the agency. So let's talk about the other side of this because we gotta look at both sides and what we as EXPs should be doing in the field, and how when we're writing reviews, what are we really basing this off of? So a couple things, and we're gonna get into this in greater details. EXPs definitely chime in and continue. I'm gonna continue to go through and read your comments as well. You can't complain about an agency, the poor practice of an agency owner or their business in general if you're unwilling to speak up. So there's different platforms, there's different ways that you can do so. Make sure that you are making your voice heard and expressing your concerns is important. I'm gonna do this agencies to avoid list next year sometime. Again, I'm gonna repost it back in the group and we're gonna see if we get a different response from EXPs. But don't reach out to me, guys. Don't ask me to put a list together. Don't ask me to take the time to do this. And we're going to get less than 40 people, to respond. And then you guys are still complaining about the same issues that we had.
Or the same agency. The same agency that I heard 4 or 5 years ago, they still complain about, but y'all still continue to work for them.
Yeah.
So,
hey. And then too, I still want to just shout out to people who took the time to do a review and respond and submit their concerns and their issues. I appreciate you guys, but we got to make this a collective effort and get on board with continuing to improve the industry and provide different resources and different platforms in various ways. Also, you can't have a sense of entitlement as an EXP when you're going on site. I know you have expectations for pay, expectations for the way in which you may want a event ran, in which you feel like the manager should be executing their event or the account manager should be communicating. But it's not your job when you go on site and you're executing an event to create a sense of entitlement, to not fulfill your roles and responsibilities, to think that you're just there to show up, look cute, and maybe talk to 1 or 2 people and collect your check.
And that's what's wrong with the industry. It has changed as far as branding. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. As far as brand ambassador, when I first entered the industry, it was like, all right, I'm going to work this event. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to meet people and just talk to people about this product or this service. I'm just go to this event and just have fun and just engage with people. It's simple as that. That's what brand is best about. Just represent the brand and giving a little insight to what the product or service has,
and
just having fun at the event. Now brand ambassadors come on scene. They just stand out, hands folded,
on their phones,
leaning on the tent, just chilling. It's supposed to be an engagement. That's why you have some of these agencies who don't care when you get paid.
Yeah.
So you have to take responsibility.
Or who don't. I don't want to say necessarily who don't care when you get paid, but you have these. Well, who don't care you get paid.
I'm telling you the truth. They don't care.
But you have these agencies too who are blind booking people, who not really taking the time to make sure that EXPs are qualified and just want a body there and willing to pay $15, $16 an hour just to have somebody there.
And if I'm a tour manager for that program, that body's gonna get sent home if that body's not engaging and being doing their job. It's not being hard on nobody. It's easy, man. It's so simple and easy just to have fun. And if you just, as an agency, if you just send that body there, that body gonna get sent home. So that may be less cost. Hey, you might not get paid for that body. But as a brand ambassador coming in this industry, you got to have you have to make sure you have energy, engaging. That's what it's called, engagement marketing. It's engagement, man. You can just create that great experience for the consumer, man. And that's what events to me when I started in the industry. That's what it was. It's about having fun, man. I get to go have fun, man. I get to give a sample out like thousands of code, talk to people, man, meet people, network with people. So it's so much you can take from it just from thinking you just come there to work and just looking good. No, you can learn so much from this, man.
Because honestly, let's think about it. The experiential marketing industry 10 years ago is not what it is now. More people are learning about this industry. More people are entering into the experiential marketing industry. What does it really take, guys, to be a brand ambassador? You have to be 18 years old, right? You have to have some decent people skills. Even now, you don't have to be outgoing and engaging as much.
Hold on. First of all, yes, you do.
You do, but a lot of times when you get on site, you see people who don't possess the people skills, but their resume says something otherwise. So you need to have those skills. Yes, you do. But what is being sent and what we're seeing in the field is a direct, it's not the same. It's not correlating oftentimes to what people are putting on their resumes. So you have to have people skills. You have to be 18 years of age. You have to be legally able to work here in the U.S.
You have to be outgoing. Yes. Outgoing, man. You approach people. You approach people and you're approachable. So you have to have an outgoing personality. You can't have a box of personality working as experiential marketing, working as a brand ambassador. Sure. Because no one wants to come into somebody who's looking mean. Yeah. Everybody wants that great experience, man. And I think a lot. What's the problem with the industry now? I'm gonna be honest. A lot of you guys are referring your friends or people that you know, and they don't even have that type of personality. Or experience. I wouldn't refer anyone in this industry who works in the office a 9 to 5 and don't have that outgoing personality. Yeah. You just want to bring those who represent the brand with that personality into the industry, not those who bring that negative vibe in the industry, that office thinking they just show up. See, a lot of people who are in the industry now are thinking like the job. I just show up to work and I'm gonna get paid. No, you got to show up and you got to bring some energy, man, and you got to perform your job duties. You got to be engaging, and if you don't have that personality, when you come on site, it may feel awkward to you. It's awkward to you because you don't belong. Yeah. A lot of people don't belong in as a brand ambassador or fit within the industry, and that's what the problem is. You telling Billy, Bob, Joe, Quisha, Tommy, Peter, Tasha, Edwin, Billy, Jacob, and Joe all about this industry, and they don't even fit. They don't even have that personality. Yeah. So you just want to bring those who have that personality, that joys, that I just love being around people. Personality. Those are the ones you want to bring in within the industry. If not, then you're gonna see a lot of people coming.
And you got to be able to accept rejection. Accept rejection too. If a consumer tells you no, if a consumer is just giving you their honest opinion about a brand or a service, and you can't run and cry or feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this job because they told me no, or they were rude. This is what this part of this industry is, being able to accept rejection and being able to move on from that consumer and move on to the next consumer and deliver the same amount of energy and the amount of engagement when you're speaking about that brand, that product or service. So you got to be able to accept rejection.
Yeah, I haven't done a study. I haven't done any research on it, but I would say majority of people who have that outgoing personality, they can roll on to the next person easy. So that's again, having that outgoing personality and the great customer service skills is like number one, I feel.
Because what we're starting to see too is a lot of clients are starting to go in-house, and they're starting to say, okay, you know what? Every time I come on an event site, or every time I see, the money that I'm spending for a staffing agency or agency to execute my program, I'm not getting a return, or I'm not, they're not as engaging. They're not conveying it the way in which we would like them to convey it. So the trend may be
the client say, "Hey, I can get some of these cubicle workers come out here and do the same thing. They already on payroll, so I don't even have to worry about paying for this expense right here." So also in the past, I heard 2 clients say that too, and these are major these Fortune 500 clients who stated that, say they don't understand how they can just sit there and not engage with people, and they're at the event just sitting there watching, they're not engaging, and they're like, why am I paying them? Well, I can go get some of the people who work in the cubicle, come out here and just do the same thing they're doing.
So ESPs, we don't want our jobs, we don't want the industry to turn to that, where you're seeing more in-house, in-office cubicle workers, taking the experiential marketing jobs, because as you guys see, oftentimes when those clients or even account managers who don't have experience in the field, when they come on site, they're unable to translate the information the same way that a seasoned EXP can, and they're unable to adjust to the quick changes and adjust to just being on site and the continuous things that occur throughout an event. So the benefits of having a great EXP far outweigh having a cubicle worker or an account manager with little to no experience in the field. It far outweighs it. But if we continue to have EXPs in the field which come in with a sense of entitlement, which are unprofessional, which are rude, which do not know how to engage with consumers, who don't know how to be an effective team player, who don't understand logistics and routing, then we're going to have instances where our jobs are going to be given to, account managers with little to no experience, or, cubicle workers who don't really understand what it takes to successfully execute an experiential marketing event. So next one, you got to complete your necessary paperwork for payment. We can't complain. Go ahead, T. Touch on the meeting paper.
As far as paperwork,
with agencies, like you can't complain.
Yeah, brand ambassadors. So when a lot of times you get a complaint about far as receiving payment, when some of the agencies came back and said that, some of the people that did say so and so or
had an issue,
they did not turn in the paperwork in a timely manner, or just say they process the paperwork. All right, we're trying to have processing paperwork within 3 days. So within those 3 days, have your paperwork over to them and do it in a timely manner, so they can have you when that date comes for you receive payment. You receive payment, you don't have no delay. So make sure you're doing your paperwork. Anything they're asking for clerical, you make sure you're turning that in a timely manner. If not, then of course you're going to get a delay on payment.
And it's not fair to that agency for you to go and talk negatively about them, when at the end of the day, the reason why you had a negative experience is because of you.
You're the result of it.
So turn in your paperwork on time. If you're having issues with uploading the paperwork, or sending in your driver's license, any payment information to process payroll, definitely communicate that with the account manager or the staffing coordinator that hired you for the program. But make sure that you are doing your part. Any contracts, anything that may not, sit right with you, ask those questions prior to signing the contract. If you don't agree with the payment terms, don't execute the event. If you need to work for companies that pay out quicker, that may not be the best agency for you to work with. But make sure that as an EXP, you're doing your part as far as your paperwork. If you have any questions, that you're completing it in a timely manner so that you can be paid on time and you don't have issues. So that's one thing I also, wanted to hit on as far as EXPs. I already said, understand more companies seeing the benefit of hiring in-house. We also, as EXPs, have to understand that there's a process, for experiential marketing and staffing agencies to obtain a client. And once they obtain that client, the process that goes into in the back end. If you guys haven't already, definitely go back, watch my pop-up interviews with the agency owners. Joe talked about this extensively. Also Tinsley, Lauren, Ramaldi, All Aces, Grayscale. They talked in depth about the process that they go through as far as setting up payment with clients and making sure that they have a process in place to pay EXPs on time. So I know, there are times when you want to be paid on time, or you may feel like, they didn't meet the contractual deadline in which they said that they would process payment. Take the time to communicate via email. If they have a phone number, call, leave a message so that someone can get back to you in a timely manner. But just understand that experiential marketing and staff agencies also have to work with the client to make sure that invoices are paid, that they take the time to fulfill those invoices and pay the agencies in a timely manner, so that in turn you can be paid in a timely manner as well. There's a whole process that goes on in the back end, and oftentimes EXPs are misinformed or miseducated about that payment process and jump to conclusions and think that the agency just didn't want to pay you out the blue. That's not how it works. There's a process that's in place that many agencies have, and oftentimes they are fighting, they're going to bat behind the scenes with clients to make sure that they are turning over these invoices in a timely manner so that they can pay EXPs. But it is a process, and sometimes the clients don't pay on time. Sometimes they delay payment even after signing a contract with an agency and committing to providing those services, knowing that we as EXPs are going to be out there executing the event. So I'm not saying that this is an excuse and no agency should not, this is an excuse for them not to pay on time. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying to you is this: understand the process that goes into being an agency owner first. Do your research and make sure that you are informed before you are just going on these different platforms
and bashing the hell out of these agency owners. So and some of the bashing come from like some of the bashing part, not the ones who have honest opinions on being not. Cause I'm talking about the ones who are bashing them, and they shouldn't be working in the industry. I'm gonna just say that they shouldn't be working as brand ambassadors or working as EXPs in the industry. And you guys are going on different platforms and bashing social media platforms, websites, and bashing these agency owners when they're one of the worst ones in the industry to execute events. So you have to be again accountable for yourself too as well.
So just especially if it's an agency which you have an established relationship with, there are a lot more experiential marketing and staffing agencies popping up. So definitely take the time to do your own research. Ask other EXPs, have they worked for that agency? What are their experiences with that agency? Do they pay in a timely manner? And make sure that you are informed before you just work for an agency, because the turnaround process for payment may be net 30, maybe net 45. Like I said, a lot more agencies are are able to now pay within 2 to 3 weeks after an event. But not every agency conducts their business practices the same way. So you have to ask questions and make sure that you are informed on when payment will be processed. And someone asks, okay, what do you do if you reached out, they contractually said a certain time, you reached out via email and call, and you still haven't received an answer? How do you handle that?
I would say honestly, it depends on the amount that they owe, that's owed to you. So if it's something that I could say, man, I could just charge it. I could just charge it, just write this off and just move on, and never work for them again. Now, if it's something that you work multiple weeks for, then you have to make sure you go legally and go ahead and start the process. Some of you guys, a lot of brand ambassadors, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a lawyer, I'm going to do this, and they never start the process.
Or it's a lengthy process, and it can be expensive.
And if you're really serious about it, and to get make sure that you're compensated, you'll go through the process. But a lot of I know they're not gonna go through the process. They're gonna go sit back and just complain, going to see some social media platforms and bash them. So if it's something where I like, man, they're not gonna pay me. They're not. It's a amount where I can say I can just charge it off and like don't worry about, don't work for them again. Okay, but again, if it's something like substantial amount of money, I suggest that you go legally and handle your business.
Yeah. But that's your decision, that's your discretion, and up to you to decide whether or not you want to take that process legally. But just know every state, depending on where that agency is located, they have different practices in which you will have to follow to file any legal queries or any legal action to receive payment. It may be worth it for you. Again, this is where you doing your research is important.
And a lot of people don't do their research.
So
a lot of you guys don't even read your contract. Read your contract. Some of the contracts say you can't even pursue them legally. So you have to make sure you read your contract.
And one person, the comments are going so fast I can't read them all. But one person stated, make sure as an EXP, in order to receive payment, this came from an agency, account manager, someone that worked in an agency, just make sure that your profile is up to date. So whether that be your address, that's important, your mailing address, your email address, your phone number, make sure that you have your W-2, your 1099, W-4. Make sure you have all that process all of that paperwork, up to date, to ensure that you're able to receive payment as well.
Because each year, some agencies go by each year. Each year you have to update your information as far as your W-2. So you have to make sure that's updating your profile, because if it's not updating your profile, then you have another delay for you receiving payment. Let's go to the next one.
Next one, start working for them if you don't receive payment. And I think that pretty much sums it up. Someone also just made a comment. The comments I'm not able to go back and read the comments, but one that I did see, someone stated that a lot of times, a lot of the cities, like for example, we live in Atlanta, so a lot of the EXPs in Atlanta are making it hard for EXPs in that region to obtain consistent opportunities, or they're getting a bad rep. And I talk about this and you do what as well. They're getting a bad rep because of the way in which EXPs have poor business practices. So if you work in a region, California, Texas, New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, Miami, areas where there's more oftentimes than not consistent opportunities, as an EXP, you have to be mindful that you're not just representing yourself, but you're representing that market, that industry and that market as a whole. So, and we've heard it from agencies as well. We prefer to bring in our own staff to execute an event because the EXPs in that area, they're just lazy. They always come to work late. They're always on their phone, or they're always unprofessional.
Or a client even said that too. Oh yeah, we used to have an agency that we used to go to, a staff agency to go to, but the brand ambassador, they weren't worth the value that we was they was investing in. So, and this was a client that I can't even. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna just go on, but it was just kind of shocking to hear a client come out their mouth and say that, and it's in Atlanta.
Yeah. So guys, Atlanta, we got to tighten up. It's a great. This is my home industry because I started my career here. And it's a great market to be in because we are in the Southeast. There's always consistent work going on. But I can only speak for my region, guys. We got to tighten up. We got to do better as a region.
We got to go back like 2004 when we first started. Yeah, it used to be fun, vibrant, positive, great professional people in the industry, brand ambassadors. And now it's kind of like, man, it's watered down, boy. Yeah,
we got to just do better. And we got to make sure that we are implementing these practices that I talk about all the time, because if not, it's gonna become very tough, not just in Atlanta but in any market, for EXPs to maintain consistent opportunities, within their city. So
I'm sorry. And it's
as a whole, we just go ahead.
And also Jay created this platform. It's not
this platform was created for the industry. So a lot of the subjects that you guys hear that she speak about, they're from people, they're from brand ambassadors within the industry who ask her, can you speak about this? Can you bring this subject up?
Or my personal experience.
Can you tell about your personal experience with it? So a lot of this, what you hear was that Jade is stating, is coming from your fellow EXPs, clients, agencies.
And being in tune in the industry and still executing events allows us to keep a pulse on what's going on in the industry. But it also allows me to stay, to see how the industry has continued to evolve and change over the years. So while more brands are seeing the benefit of investing in the experiential marketing industry as a industry, especially as EXPs as a whole, because I like, to come from the strength of being someone in the field, because this is where I started and this is where I feel, we as EXPs, we got to make sure that we are not overworked and underpaid, and agencies and clients see the value of investing in experiential marketing professionals. But this is where we, have to tighten up and make sure that we are on our A game and we are doing what we're supposed to do. Now, granted, not every agency is professional, has professional business practices. Not every client is unprofessional. You may have some bad experiences when you get on site. T and I combined have done well over 28 tours. Every tour has not been the best tour. Every client has not been a walk in the park. Every event is not going to be, this cool event. You're not going to always have the glitz and glam that you see in pictures. It's a lot that goes into executing an event. A lot of work, a lot of sleepless, I ain't going to say sleepless nights, but little to no sleep, a lot of prep work, a lot of communication that you as an individual, you have to possess, but it is not for the weak-minded. It's not for everybody working in this industry. So you have to be mindful of that, and you have to understand that. But also, if we want to continue to see the industry grow, we got to be able and be willing to stand up, for unfair business practices. A lot of EXPs ask about forming a union. Jay, why don't we form a union? Union would be great. But EXPs, if we can't even take the time to do a quick survey, or if we can't come together and see the importance of investing, how can we create a union and stand together as one? So that's something that we can still discuss, still have multiple topics and discussions about. But until we're able to stand as an agent, as one unit, and discuss those bad practices and be transparent about it, it's just going to continue. We're just going to continue to have the same issues we've been having. But shouts out to all the great agencies out there. Shouts out to the agencies that pay on time, that value the EXPs, who are taking the time to diligently, I can't talk tonight, to successfully execute events. Shouts out to the agencies who appreciate EXPs and let it be known. Shouts out to the EXPs who do a great job day in and day out in spite of the unprofessionalism that you may face. The agencies who may not pay on time, the instances in which you've dealt with entitled EXPs and you've had to, serve as babysitter / manager. Shouts out to all the EXPs who understand the importance of helping others continue to progress in the industry. Shouts out to the EXPs who understand that the industry is only going to go as far as we are willing and able to do so. And shouts out to the agencies who take the time to come on my platform, to share their stories, to be transparent about their agency and their practices. And shouts out to the EXPs as well who take the time to come on and share their stories, because we all can learn from each other, and we all have different perspectives that we go through in experiences as EXPs.
And please don't take it like Jay know it all and have it all and have the vision for it, because it's not like that. I'm not the one who know 100% about each and everything within the industry. So we're not the two that's like that. If you have worked with us, we don't really come off like that anyway. So first, for those who are new in her group and everything, just know that it's only again created the group to help the industry, not to bash anyone. She created resources for you guys, and she's doing this free.
Yeah.
I mean, FREE. She wrote a book. She's not making $1 million off the book, but she wrote a book to help you guys out, for you guys to invest and learn. So from what she's learned to help you guys out, so you won't have to go through some of the mud that she went through. So that's why she wrote the book. And some of you guys are going through the same challenge if you just open up a book and read. Yeah. So if you invest in yourself too, sometimes you have to invest in yourself. Sometimes you have to invest in your resume. Sometimes you have to invest in yourself physically. Sometimes you invest in yourself mentally. Again, you have to continue to grow, not as an individual, but also in the industry too as well. And she created this platform, EXP Elite, to help you guys, to help those, myself, who's still working in the field, year in, year out, so the industry can progress, not only as a whole, but also as an individual. So that's why she built this platform. It's never to bash, because we don't bring negative energy. If you know you work the event with us, our energy is always positive. We're always there to have fun, and we know what we're doing. So again, from her platform, EXP Elite, it's all to help the community of experiential marketing, the EXP Elite group.
And I wanna revisit this, agencies to avoid, later on, and we will later on. But compromising the integrity of the group and everything just for the sake of 1 or 2 comments, I did not feel comfortable doing that. So hopefully we'll have a better turnout. But until then, guys, definitely
let anybody who will make a comment.
Yeah, guys, if you guys have any comments, go ahead and speak up. In the group, as T said, it's not just about making you a better EXP, but making you a better person. So with us wrapping up 2019, moving into 2020, I got a couple things up my sleeve that I'll be talking about in the next few weeks, and a couple surprises and things that we're just going to be doing in the group to assist you in becoming better as an individual, and just learning how to navigate through the many issues that you may be having outside of just working in this industry. Because in order to, your health is your wealth in a lot of cases, and you have to make sure that you are in a good state mentally, physically, emotionally, to even come out and execute an event. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing that in the coming weeks. If you guys have any other comments, any other questions, I'm trying to go back and read the comments and wave to you guys really quick before we hop off of here. Let me scoot up really quick. I'm open to any suggestions, open to anything you guys want to say. Thank you, John, for tuning in and participating. T, anything else you want to say? I'm trying to read through these comments.
Let's go Georgia Bulldogs.
Let's go Georgia. But thank you guys all for commenting, for tuning in. Thank you to all the agency owners for sharing your insight and perspective. Thank you to all the EXPs again. I know you guys are all looking for that list. Y'all wanted that drama tonight. But
oh yeah, I had something to say. Man, keep the drama down. Y'all always starting it's always some drama in experiential marketing drama. Brandon about to start a drama, man. Y'all have fun out there in the events, man. And leave the drama at home, or leave it where the drama was at. Yeah. But go out there and have fun.
Yeah, don't bring your personal issues.
And think about this: you should be out there having fun and networking.
Yes. Engaging in
networking, man. That's how you get to the next level. Yeah. You networking, you out there having fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this industry got a lot of drama.
We just got to do better.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for the plug. Yes, Lori, the name of the book is You Do What? The Ultimate Experiential Marketing Guide. So you could definitely pick up your copy on Amazon. Make sure you leave me a review on Amazon as well. So that's it for everybody. I'm about to go ahead and hop off of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. If you guys have any topics you want me to cover in the future, definitely send me a message and I'll go ahead and work on those. All right. Remember, you are a brand within a brand. So represent yourself accordingly.
Come on, UGA. We need a win against Florida.
Later.